How's it going, everybody? I haven't done a video in probably 2 months, and I thought I'd give everyone an update since it's officially spring, and that's a polywire, so that only means one thing. Number one, you're kind of shittier bales. It was the first cut of last year, and there's a lot of seed heads from the grass being so late, but it also had a lot of weeds and stuff. So, yeah, I just decided with how we need essentially to get nutrients back on here, I went around and started placing, if there was a patch that was bare or it had weeds on it or whatever, I went and placed bales, and then that whole western side needed, it's just really, I think with pine needles and everything else, it just needs something to start building soil over there. So, and that was the route I used to get out to the woods right away. So it, compaction, everything else, it's starting to come in, but I figure they can't hurt it given some, just kind of older hay. But, yeah, the steers are out on pasture. So, I just moved them out here, but I fed them. They're not fully grain, or they're not fully grass finished. They do get grain morning and night, and it actually worked good to let them eat all their grain and then come out here, because then they're not, when I first started last year, I tried this method and I put like a little section here and the steers just took off right through it. Well, I decided this year, being I have that laneway out to the woods, I ended up letting them out in the laneway, and easy boys, easy. Yeah, you can see the fatties. But yeah, this was just kind of weedy and there was rocks and everything else. So I let the steers just work this over, work up the rocks, work up anything that, there was a lot of this shit right here. I don't know if anyone remembers, but essentially, yeah, they worked over that, and then we let them graze the lane, and I gave them about this much, trained them to it, and then we went to there, and I just stood at the back line and had a paddle, so they came up to it. Well, they figured out real quick right here that that fence hurts. So anyway, yep, they've been in here and they were cleaning up. There's trees, little saplings and shit that have leaves in them, and they cleaned that up and they just grazed it, put MPK down, and there's some hay that was spread out there, and they beat that down, did with what they want with that. So, and yeah, so they're getting some, it's a little overripe, just a little bit, but they're, compared to the hay they've been getting, they love it. They're grazing what they can. They're gonna work through this whole thing's gonna get grazed off. Last year we didn't even have grass growing in here, so that was another big thing. And then you had this strip where nothing really was growing, so I stuck a bale in. The steers kind of started rolling it, but then they moved it to different places, so I unrolled it, and then they kind of finished it off, and I just spread it out up there. So that should help with a little bit of getting things established. I know it's kind of a pathway. I want it to be further out that way, so we're probably going to end up moving. I want to end up making like a corridor with the T-post where every so often we put one, and kind of make a corridor, so then we can go down and do essentially just a U shape, go down the one side and come back up the other side. The crappy part, you can see, that's how tall it is right there. Well, the cornfield that used to be here ran right about here. It's hard to see, but there's a line. They ran right about here and then went right around this pile. So it's slowly working in. I mean, you're getting patches like this, and then you get stuff like this. But the alfalfa that I planted is kind of coming up, and I'll show more in the hayfield too, as give everyone an update. But there's clover. There's, of course, a little over mature orchard grass, and I can explain what all happened with that. But yeah, for the most part, the pasture, you got spots like that. But along that side's good to graze, and that'll give that some time to rest and take off. Because right about here, I don't know if you can see on camera, but that's about the line where we grazed that half last year, the end of last year, and let this side set. So it definitely helped us gain some forage in the spring. And yeah, so. And for anyone wondering about the baler, this of course was late. Everything had received a frost and we just kind of baled up what we could. So, but I mean, it's good forage. It just looks, it's not green because it was starting to freeze dry. So whatever, let steers pick through it, shit on it, piss on it, whatever. They can do what they want, but they'll have all this. I don't know, this might last them 2 days. But the next we'll just move there. I see it is supposed to be hotter, so that's like Monday, Tuesday. So I kind of want to be having a laneway and then let them on that one hot day, because then it's supposed to go back down to the 70s and 60s. So on that hotter day, I kind of want them in that corner. And you know, if they have, that's pretty short anyway. If we just make a laneway and give them, you know, from here over, let them graze that, that's fine. So, but yeah, they respect the fences, and they're clean, which I was very happy with. You can see I started on kind of composting it. Yeah, there's a spreader load, and we got more over there. And that was just a slop hole. So the one day I just started pushing, and it was good for a little while, but then it filled in with water, and then you got all this still and all that. And yeah, one upgrade I want to do in here, I want to do probably, that side might get a feed rail put in, you know, if you go out to there or whatever, and then you just set bales on the outside, kind of like I did there. And then it would also give me something where you can scrape that wall and don't have to worry about, you know, hitting anything. And then against that, we're going to do another one on the bottom, probably one there, or if I want to do 3 even. But yeah, we'll do that along the whole edge. Just, I don't know, it makes it look nicer. Or, you know, I've looked online and they used these, and then they did one on the bottom, and then you did one like midway up just as a rub rail kind of. So, but it keeps it, and then I'll put in wood posts too, because it just, everywhere they were reaching for the grass, it just started getting pushed over. So, but yeah, they kind of sorted through that stuff. To me, it's still pretty good, but I may have cleaned a little bit of it. So, anyway, I will, yeah, you can see the subpar hay crop so far, but yeah, we'll get on that. Well, yeah, what's the update for the hay crop? So, last year, if anyone remembers, I no-tilled in some hay and some alfalfa grass. It was, I don't know, 50-50 mix roughly. So far, I'm kind of not super impressed, but I'm seeing hope. So, earlier, you can see it's it's maybe ankle, 7 inches tall. And I've seen that in other hayfields too. And we have had this cool, first of all, we were really dry where we didn't see rain for, I don't know if it was 3-4 weeks. And it caused the alfalfa to yellow and pop a seed head up real early and kind of stunted everything. But this is kind of the worst spot. And then same with up there. These are the sandy hillsides that, you know, last year it was a lot worse. Like that, you could actually see exposed soil. So everything's green at least. So that's a positive. But anyway, I've kind of been monitoring it to see what the alfalfa was going to do, because there's spots that it's hopeful. Like, it's hard to tell, but you get in some spots, like there's a bigger alfalfa plant there. Seems to be right in here. and any of the short stuff, and then you kind of get down in there, it's not. It's very sporadic, but we're getting moisture, and now it's been cooler again, so it's kind of caused things to start coming alive a bit. Yeah, is what it is. So we'll just kind of wait and see. The plan is this fall we're going to get a soil test done, and something else that kind of happened is I talked to the neighbor, and we're potentially going to do a deal where we have a first cutting lockdown. He's going to cut it and rake it, and I will bale it up. And we're doing a pretty good deal on that. So if that works out and he wants to do kind of a longer term deal, and maybe I can talk to him about putting some fertilizer down, because he just does small squares and has like some farm balls. So he just does it more as a hobby. But anyway, the plan would be to somewhere right in here, I want to divide these two in half. And with having the cow herd that we're gonna be getting this fall, somewhere right in here I want a fence line, and that way we can potentially graze this, we can mow it, whatever. It gives us more versatility. And on this side, this is kind of a bigger swamp down in here, so it's kind of that, I don't know if I want to put cattle on it yet, or because you get a lot of like those marsh bog heads. So but at least I would like to get this, because then we could start bale grazing on that hilltop and then up in here and get some fertility back, because that's ultimately what it needs right now. The soil test to give me an idea as to where the pH went and where we're looking for that stuff. But for the most part, I mean, this is the worst part kind of, because as you start getting out in here in that low point, it's holding moisture, and it's considerably taller. So anyway, like there's patches, I'll show you where the alfalfa is a bit thicker. So you got some there, like right up in this area. It just seems like it really came in well. There's some right in there, and the orchard grass too really popped off. So we're gonna do another late cutting, and just, you know, it is what it is. Being we have some extra hay anyway, we'll have it almost double the hay that we had last year. So yeah, that's optimism that, hey, you can see some alfalfa, and it's all over in here. So yeah, that's kind of the update. And then I have one more equipment update that really I'm kind of happy about. It's ultimately going to help as we go forward as a piece of equipment. I don't have to worry about breaking. So yeah, we'll head that way. All right, well, the latest update is that's for sale. I had two people interested, and I don't know, they were talking like they were interested in, the one was trying to locate a trailer, and they couldn't locate a trailer, and yeah, whatever, yeah. So anyway, that's still for sale. Anybody that's in Northwest Wisconsin or East Central Minnesota, IH150 manure spreader, pretty decent shape. Leave a comment below and we'll get in touch. But anyway, I ran into the issue, or it can't handle wet, sloppy, just heavy manure. So we went looking and found, I don't know if anyone recognize this, but we got some fertilizer, and they threw in a manure spreader for free. It was kind of spendy fertilizer, but that's the culprit for what happened, and that's what caused it. So anyway, I cleaned it out, and just made a pile, and then I have one more load, and that was what was left in it. I had just kind of been looking a little bit for a manure spreader that could handle a little bit more heavy pen pack manure. That would just, it would fit like horse operation or something. So anyway, got everything straightened out, and now I'm just I just got to swing and get an apron chain. I haven't got around to it. It's just kind of been lowest on the priority list right now with everything else. But anyway, so yeah, we this should be a new addition this year. I was hoping I would have cash from that, but anyway, so yeah, we got a Knight manure spreader. It's a lot bigger than the other one, and it's a lot more heavy duty, and you can still get parts for it. So, because I had to kind of remanufacture that. Anyway, yeah, I'm just kind of rambling. This video's just been rambling. I thought I need to get something up just to have some video evidence for next year, so I can look back in a couple years and see where we were at. But yeah, that's kind of just been waiting to go, and I just gotta do a little bit. I gotta move the chain a couple teeth. Somehow it got off, but anyway, yeah, otherwise it's just been hot and dry. Then it got cool and wet, and then it's supposed to get hot, and then I see 85 on, I think I already said that, and then we get cool again. So we'll just play it by year and go from there. But I'm just glad to see steers are on pasture. Don't worry, that's plans for this year. We're gonna get on that, and as time will be with a newborn, it's just been a little bit interesting, but she's doing awesome, and now we're having a routine where I'm getting more free time. So anyway, I will leave you guys with yeah, let's just, not much, but there's been some updates. So thanks for watching. Just like, comment below, and stay tuned.